Good morning and happy Thursday. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I choose to rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for joining me here again on Life Flow Daily Devotional. Do me a favor, share this platform this morning. Someone can use the encouragement. Someone can use the information that God has for us on today. We've been talking about fear all week, and today we're going to continue on that same topic. The reason we dedicated a whole week to discussing fear is because it is so vitally important that we understand how necessary it is for us to avoid falling into fear at all costs. Fear is manipulative. Fear is dangerous. Fear is a destroyer of dreams. It will convince you to hear the circumstances rather than to remember the promises of God. An unfortunate situation happens in the book of Numbers, chapter 13. In the book of Numbers, chapter 13, the children of Israel, just recently having been delivered from the Egyptians, are on the brink of entering the promised land. Well, on their way, Moses sends out 12 spies by instruction from God. He sends out 12 spies to go and scout out the land, to see what it is, to see if it's everything that God promised it would be. They spent this time, 12 spies, the 12 leaders, they spent this time, they spied out the land. They even brought back produce, grapes so large that it would take 2 men to carry a cluster. And this is what they said. This is what they said when they returned. The land is everything that you said it would be, but there are giants there. It's a land that devours its people. In other words, they were basically saying that the blessing that God had for them was too much. The obstacles were too difficult. And even though they had never seen this land, even though Moses had never seen this land and gave them an accurate description of what would be there, they chose rather to allow fear to convince them that what they were seeing, the obstacles that they were seeing, was more daunting or more important than the promise that God had given. Now remember, this is the same God that they saw deliver them through 10 plagues. This is the same God that they saw open up the Red Sea and allow them to walk over on dry land and swallow up their enemies. But yet and still, fear had become a welcome guest. Fear had become a great influencer in their minds. And it caused everyone over 20 outside of Caleb and Joshua to miss out on the promise of God. I want you to understand something today. Just because it's the will of God for your life, just because God desires you to do something, it does not mean that it's going to automatically happen for you. Why do I say that? God gives you and I free choice, and we can choose to forfeit God's plans for our life. Don't allow fear to convince you that you're better off where you are than where God wants you to be. Don't miss your blessing. Don't miss your moment. Trust in God always. He knows what's best for you. I pray that you heard me today, and I pray that you will not only be a hearer, but that you will respond. Plan on seeing you tomorrow, and until then, remember this: life happens in the flow.